Okay, here we are with part two of the ragged and torn front apron. I've done the work, and I'm handheld because my videographer's somewhere else. As you can see, remember I basted it all in place, and I haven't oversewn this edge. You can see very closely the olive drab thread that I used. Even on the inside, you can see it's a herringbone back and forth. It's pretty hard to see. But this meets the time constraints, and I'm leaving this this repair open-ended because the fellow's leaving on the plane tomorrow to go to a pipe band thing somewhere. So we'll see. We'll take another look at it when he gets back. But when I started to sew this, and you can just sort of see the little puckers where, again, my herringbone stitch, I've been stitching from this side and then again passing the smallest possible amount of thread visible on the outside, and that to be as much as making a point to make sure that it's aligned with the grain of the cloth. So there's a tiny bit of puckering. I'm going to run an iron over this to see if it smooths out. But what I did discover as I started working with this, that yeah, I think it was necessary that I use the heavier weight cloth because, and literally it was right in front of me and I didn't think to point it out even to myself. The reason why this cloth is so translucent is it's worn thin. So there's all sorts of little, we'll call them flaws, little bits of damage. There's a couple of, let me see if I can see it here now. Okay, right there, we can see it looks as though a yarn or two or three has been pulled, right? So it doesn't look like, or at least I can't tell, if a loop had become proud and then gotten pulled and drawn, and then sort of created this sort of zipper effect on the cloth, and then been nursed back in place by a very, very clever person using the point of a needle, just sort of tugging the yarns in each direction to settle them back in place. That's not easily done. Sometimes if there's just a little tiny bit of a loop sticking out because it caught on something, if you leave it alone, the natural working of the cloth when it's being worn will sometimes tug it back in place. So there's a pull. There's a second pull there. Some of these places are quite thin. It's almost as though, okay, that's quite thin, and it looks like it will become a hole, or is a potential hole. So what I did was, after doing my herringbone stitch to quilt this backing piece, that's the word I'm looking for, I then sort of stabilized this thin spot. And I'm going to go back and stabilize that as well because we can see a bit of wear there. And possibly this was caused by a sporran strap or a sporran chain. Now the worst part, the tear, again on the back side, the non-matching cloth, the white line is, I accurately lined it up underneath. So possibly what we're seeing right there, right at the point of my finger, might be the backing piece. But having quilted it in place, I then overcast the ragged edge of the tear and went a little bit past on either end, because where the tear ends doesn't mean where the damage ends. So I stabilized that a bit as well, and then went in and overcast the loose yarns. I didn't cut any of the yarns, so it's certainly not invisible. But I don't think I could make it any neater than that. It is if I say so myself, it's a carefully executed, well done repair. And what I'm going to hope that people will learn from this, because I'm going to pass this on to the person who drew this kilt from their band stores, is that they'll take this as a lesson learned. And if you start to get a little bit whole, or even you notice that the front apron of the kilt or the cloth is getting worn, it's time to put in a backing piece. Because frankly, this kilt, with that amount of wear, this kilt is reaching the end of its life, its service life. With this backing piece I've quilted in, and that repair, I think I've extended it a few more seasons, maybe a year or two. But yeah, this kilt's sort of on life support. Okay, I've sent the email to them with my invoice. Let's hope they come by and pick it up because their plane leaves tonight, I think. There we go.